you're a CRA now.
Hmm.
What do you like most about the position? Like what are some things you like?
Um, I like a lot of things. Actually, I think just overall clinical research is just like a big ball of learning experience.
Hmm.
I'm the type of person like I love to learn new things. I love a good challenge. And with the field, especially with the CRA role, like you get that almost daily. And it's always something different every day. Like maybe the site doesn't have the supplies and the subject is coming in for a visit in a few days and they need like an expedited order, or they have questions about the protocol where they don't really understand. Like, if it seems ambiguous to them, you may have to explain it, or, a subject had to have an emergency room visit and they want to know if it's an adverse event or a serious adverse event, or it's just, anything can happen. So, each day is kind of like putting out small fires, and you learn a lot doing that. Like you gain experience from having different issues at the different sites, so that you'll know moving forward, like what to do if that situation comes up again. So I like that aspect of it. And then when you're assigned to a project team, of course you have to do training, and that training includes like in-depth presentations about the indication, the different treatments for the indication,
Hmm.
for the project that you're working on, how the drug works, and all of that is interesting to me. As I said, I was pre-med in college,
Right.
and I've always, loved to learn about the health field. So that's another thing that I like. Um, because you learn about health issues and diseases that you probably wouldn't even thought of, like,
Right.
if you weren't working on that project. You get to meet a lot of people as a CRA because you travel a lot. Well, depending on the company, you may or may not travel as much, but I know I some of the places I go, I choose to stay in the same hotels, and I see the same people that work at the hotel all the time.
Hmm.
So yeah, you make new friends, and of course, traveling is always cool.
Hmm.
We keep the points from the airlines and the rental cars and the hotel points, so
Hmm.
that's always a plus as well.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of things.
So let's see. You've been traveling since 2015, right?
2016.
2016. So about 2 years. Um,
Hmm.
how has that been? Has it been tiring for you at times? Is it stressful at times? Is it tough
Um,
juggling that with a full time job? Or I mean, I know it comes with the job, but you know what I'm saying.
yeah. So it was. It has its. Some moments have like challenges. So I was assigned to I think three different projects at one point. And even though like the traveling frequency for those projects differed, sometimes they will overlap. So
Hmm.
it will always be like, every few months I was like traveling a lot because the frequency overlapped. But other than that, I was always prepared because I always, try to plan ahead of time. So I knew like which month I would be heavy traveling versus the other where it's, not so heavy. Um, so I think that I guess is like the biggest thing. But other than that, it's been pretty cool. Like I haven't, been tired out,
Not
and
yet.
have intervals, I guess, where I'm not traveling at all. Like, like around the Christmas holiday, things, die down
Right.
everywhere.
Right. It's
So,
lovely. It's lovely during that time.
yeah, yeah.
So, exactly how much do you travel? Because I've said this number before, and people still don't believe me. What do you say? You could say the percentage, and then say about how many times per week that really comes out to, or how many times per month that really shakes out to.
Um, I would say like 75%,
Okay.
around that much. But our company recently like changed its model, so they're trying to um, they like change the frequency of how much we travel. So it's went down a little bit, but I would say like once or twice a week.
Okay.
I'm traveling, yeah,
Okay.
and it's not like a set like every week I'm traveling, once or twice. Of course, sometimes I don't go anywhere the whole week. It just depends on your project and the monitoring frequency for your project. Because I know some people that go to the same places like every 2 weeks. So,
Okay, yeah, right.
hmm
Definitely relies on that interval there.
yeah.
And so, what's the most you've traveled?
The most I traveled,
Yeah, because I
uh,
imagine you've had different projects over the course of the 2 years.
yeah.
Yeah, what's the
So
most you've traveled?
I think, let me see. Um, it was like mid-August to September of 2016.
Okay.
Um, I was probably home like literally just on the weekends. Like, um, I mean, of course, like say I had a visit on Monday, I travel out Sunday and I come back Monday night, but I have another visit on Wednesday. So I'm literally home Monday night, Tuesday half the day, and I'm flying out again to the next place. So I was doing that um, like mid to late August and all of September in 2016. But I had just so I was doing termination visits for one of my studies, but I was also doing monitoring visits for the same study.
Hmm.
And then I had just been assigned a new study, and uh, they had to pay a penalty if the monitoring visits weren't done within the allotted time frame.
Right.
Like the company had to pay a penalty to the sponsor.
Hmm.
So I had to like fit those visits in.
Okay.
Yeah. And they
Wow.
were already planned by the previous monitor. So it's like I couldn't really,
Right. So
replan it.
so that's pretty much like 100% travel during that time.
Yeah, for let's say like 90%.
90%.
90%, yeah. But I mean it doesn't always happen like that at all.
Right. So it seems like in a normal case you can pretty much spread it out to however you
Mhm.
want it. Can you also like jam pack it in? So like maybe like the first 2 weeks you're traveling a lot, then the last 2 weeks you're not traveling so much.
Yeah, it's all up to you. You make your own schedule. You talk to the site about their availability and match it with yours, and you pick. So we don't have someone, um, that's well for the company I work for. We don't have someone that makes our travel arrangements like and schedules the visits with the site. We do all that ourselves.
Hmm.